your Opinionation. It's your host, Cabell, aka CJ, coming back to you with another YouTube video. And it's been some couple of great playoff games here to start the playoffs. I can't believe we're talking about the playoffs in August for the first time due to the pandemic. The players are in the NBA bubble, and we have seen a lot of great play. We've seen Luka Doncic score 42 points. Donovan Mitchell scored 57 points. Jamal Murray scored 36 points. Damian Lillard tonight versus LeBron James, as well as Orlando upsetting Milwaukee. So tonight, I'll be talking about the two upsets that we saw in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. First with the Orlando Magic, as well as just maybe 10 minutes ago, the Portland Trail Blazers beating the first seed Los Angeles Lakers. And to get started, I just want to go out and say, first and foremost, shout out to all these teams that are playing through trying times, like Nurkic playing with his grandma's funeral that just happened, I believe yesterday or today. I can't remember exactly which one, but rest in peace to his grandmother. Shout out for a great game as well for him tonight. And just things just not being the same, just being able to consistently keep playing, keep going through these motions, and continue to fight for a championship. And I just really am in awe, honestly, to just see so many great players consistently play at a high level. And we expected to see a little miscommunication, chemistry issues, things happening like that. But honestly, I believe that a lot of these teams have not missed the first step. I mean, these teams are still playing at a high level. We've seen competitive basketball, and especially with these first round of the playoffs, we've seen teams compete. And I really love to see that. Obviously, with the whole pandemic situation, we thought it was going to be a little different, but it is still different. But teams are definitely competing. And shout out to the Portland Trail Blazers and the Orlando Magic for beating out the #1 seed on their first game. This is only LeBron's second time losing a first-round Game 1 matchup. And to be honest, Portland is not an 8th seed at all. They're getting their team back healthy for the first time. And coming off a Western Conference matchup against the Golden State Warriors last year, I mean, obviously losing, Rodney Hood this year, as well as Seth Curry from that team, but picking up Trevor Ariza as well as Carmelo Anthony. Even though Trevor Ariza did not play in the bubble, he did play for partially some part of the season. So just thinking, like, if that team was healthy, they're probably a top 5 seed, maybe, 4th, 3rd seed. Like, this team is really built to, advance in the playoffs. And to be honest, they have great veterans. They have, great young pieces around them like Trent Jr., as well as I saw a new guy that I haven't seen play a lot often in the bubble. I can't remember his name. He is of African descent. I will look that up and let you guys know later on when I keep talking about the NBA. But just to let you know about, like, Orlando playing without Marco Carter-Williams, Jonathan Isaac going down with an injury, and just Aaron Gordon didn't play. I mean, these guys are really playing well. And to be honest, I'm super excited about seeing some of these first-round matchups. I think Orlando will be a tough out after seeing this game and Aaron Gordon coming back. I think they're going to be a tough out, maybe 5 or 6 games. I do see Milwaukee still winning. But with the Portland Trail Blazers series, I see it going to at least 6 or 7. After seeing what that Damian Lillard, Carmelo Anthony, CJ McCollum stepping up in the
to go. Lillard, long three is up and in. Thought the Blazers running roughshod with all of that action. Nurkic hammers one home, and the Blazers.
Fourth quarter, I see this series going into like 6 or 7 games. Honestly, I don't see LeBron and AD just knocking these boys out after this first game. The first game, and they won by 7. So it's not like they had a comfortable lead throughout the entire game. And, LeBron being LeBron, he had historical accolades, the nice first player in NBA history to score 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists in the NBA playoff games. And that's crazy that he lost with that. So, I mean, that is a remarkable with LeBron James. And then we see Anthony Davis. But the reason I believe these guys didn't get the job done tonight, you saw Anthony Davis do well. You saw LeBron James do well. Even Dwight Howard, to an extent, playing for predominantly the most minutes at the center position tonight. their other players, like the others to help, like Shaq always says, the others didn't really step up. Kyle Kuzma here and there, and then they also have no depth at the defensive point guard position to go about with McCollum and Lillard playing exceptionally well tonight. I don't see them just being a tough out. Like I keep saying, I believe Portland will be headed to the second round if they don't step up, or if Rondo doesn't come back to the extent that they need Damian Lillard to be stopped at. I don't see them necessarily getting stopped, but at least containing the man. He's pulling up from 36 feet and shooting lights out. What can you do with that? If you can't contain him, they will definitely have a tough chance of overbeating these guys, or defeating these guys, excuse me. But I just believe that Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, Carmelo Anthony, Hassan Whiteside obviously playing good tonight, Yusuf Nurkic, and their head coach. I just don't see the Los Angeles Lakers being able to play like they played tonight, and being able to overcome the Portland Trailblazers. I just don't see it. Not at how Damian Lillard is playing. If they don't get a man to at least try to contain him, Caruso didn't do a good enough job on him tonight. Obviously, the fourth quarter Dame time definitely showed up. CJ McCollum always shows up as well, especially with Carmelo Anthony, Trent Jr., and their others stepping up. Hassan Whiteside, I definitely see that this will be a tough series, and a lot of people have Portland, have been a tough matchup for them, and the Lakers still winning. I don't know anymore after seeing tonight's game. I couldn't really get a good glimpse, with how things were going to play, because I already knew in my head that Portland wasn't a true eighth seed. They're not like a Dallas Mavericks team, a young team, the Nets, or, even Orlando in a sense. These guys, when healthy, are top 3, top 4 seed in the Western Conference. And I want to say that one more time. These guys, when healthy, are top 3, top 4 seed. So this is what LeBron and, the Lakers would have seen if they were healthy, in the second round or maybe in the third round. So, just seeing how well these teams are playing, with the circumstances is really phenomenal. And obviously them not traveling probably helped a little bit, especially, the layoff of 4 months and then being here for 2 months, starting to get their feet wet a little bit more, and some of the other playoff games have been exceptionally well. I really like the Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz game. I think that's going to be a really fun series. I didn't like the call with Luka Doncic and Porzingis. I think some of these calls, they got to cut these guys a little slack. They have really high ceilings, and I think some of these games, some of the calls in these games need to be looked at again. I know that these refs aren't going to get every single call right, but some of these calls are clear as day. Sometimes you need to just relax on what you guys are calling on these players. Like that Porzingis call, I just think in that point of the game, that's something you have to let go. And some of the calls we also saw tonight, like Yusuf Nurkic and some of those body-to-body contact. If you're going to call it one way, you got to call it the other way. That's all I'm saying. So consistently getting the calls right is going to be hard, with the fast pace of the game, especially, with the tensions being so high with these players, spending 2 months in the same spot, not being able to see families. You got to take all that into consideration. So if you got this far in the video, you guys can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, #Opinionation. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comment section below. And that is it for the video. You can add me on Snapchat at CCavelSpermaJ. Follow me on Instagram at Cavel2X. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all, Opinionation. Peace.